I know you all like things that are really spicy down in the bayou. But even for Cajun country, this Brian Kelly separation drama is something else, right? Like, I know you guys really, really, really do not want to pay BK $54 million not to coach the team. And I get that. But you can't just make bleep up to get out of that. For instance, calling the coach that you fired 2 weeks ago and telling him, actually, BK, you weren't fired then. We didn't fire you. We didn't fire anybody. We didn't fire you then. However, you now are officially fired. We're firing you now. We didn't fire you then, but we are firing you right now. And we're firing you for cause. That's what they're trying to do. Yeah, nice try with that. Good job. Good effort. Good job. Good effort. No longer, it's no longer for life. For life. The new for life is for cause. For cause. For cause. Imagine BK's surprised to hear in a phone call this week that he wasn't actually fired 2 weeks ago, even though somebody else coached against Alabama on Saturday. It's got to be a little confusing, right? You fired me. That's why I didn't coach the team against Bama. No, we didn't fire you then. We're firing you now. For cause. For cause. Well, if you didn't fire me then why did I pack everything up and leave the office? Why didn't I coach against Bama if I wasn't fired? You're not listening. We didn't fire you then. We're firing you now. For cause. What a bleep show, man. And hilarious. And confusing. I mean, it's got to be confusing, right? This statement from then AD, Scott Woodward, put out by the university back on October 26th read, quote, "When Coach Kelly arrived at LSU 4 years ago, we had high hopes that he would lead us to multiple SEC and national championships during his time in Baton Rouge. Ultimately, the success at the level that LSU demands simply did not materialize, and I made the decision to make a change after last night's game." End of quote. I don't know. I don't see any gray area in that. That seems pretty black and white. My man sounds pretty freaking fired to me. And by the way, sounded pretty freaking fired to BK as well. And the rest of planet Earth. And it's pretty clear why he was axed as well. It's because, quote, "the success at the level that LSU demands simply did not materialize." End of quote. Yeah, that's not what for cause means. That's firing a guy for performance, or in this case, non-performance. That's a school putting out a statement saying they fired their head coach for performance reasons with $54 million left on his contract. Listen, that's the school's right. If you're not happy with your coach and you think he's not winning you enough games and he's not meeting your standard, fine, fire the coach. However, if you have a contract, you have to honor the contract. You can't fire the coach and then not honor the contract. See, all of a sudden, LSU is trying to claim that Scott Woodward didn't actually have the authority to fire him, therefore he wasn't fired. Even though the school signed off on Woodward's statement, which announced the firing. So again, make that make sense. Make that anything other than the absolute bleep show that it is right now. So, of course, upon finding out that he wasn't fired then, but he is now, for cause, it took BK all of 5 seconds after receiving that phone call from the school this week to sue the school, which is how we have all these deets. BK immediately sued LSU, seeking, quote, "a declaratory judgment confirming that LSU's termination of Coach Kelly is without cause, and that Coach Kelly is entitled to receive the full liquidated damages provided for in his contract," end of quote. In other words, he's asking the court to please confirm that I did in fact get fired weeks ago, and that I will in fact get every freaking penny of my $54 million. As well he should. I mean, yes, it's a bleep ton of money to shell out for a dude not to do a job, especially for a public school in Louisiana. I get that. You know what else I get? A deal is a deal. That was a deal. That was the deal. A deal that school signed. You didn't have to run that dude out of town. And don't act like you fired him for cause when you obviously fired him for performance or lack thereof. If you fired him for cause, what is the cause? In the contract, Kelly can be fired for cause if there are, quote, material and substantial NCAA rule violations, being convicted of a felony, or any crime involving gambling, drugs, or alcohol, or engaging in serious misconduct, which either displays a continual serious disrespect for the mission of LSU or constitutes moral turpitude. End of quote. I mean, if the guy had engaged in any of that immoral turpitude, or gambling, or drinking, or drugging, or any of the above, don't you think we would know that? Don't you think they would have said that when they fired him? If LSU was sitting on a bombshell that would allow them to break this dude off for cause, would we not have heard some whisper of it by now? Don't you think that if LSU had that kind of incriminating evidence, that would allow them to get out of that contract and not pay him for cause? Don't you think they would have led with that? Don't you think that would have been their plan A? Let me put it this way. If LSU could have fired him for cause, they would have fired him for cause. This is one of those ready, aim, shoot, fire. Like it didn't dawn on you, we can't just fire this guy. Ready, fire, ready, fire, aim. Get out of here, BK. Okay. When and what door would you like me at? What door would you like me to go out of? Not fired for lack of performance. Okay, so fired for performance, then unfired, then refired, but for cause. Man, I've never heard anything like this in my life. Actually, I kind of have. People have tried this before. It doesn't work, obviously. Calling the head coach you fired weeks ago and telling him, you were not technically fired, even though we had some other dude on the sideline after we fired you, and then refiring him has got to be one of the all-time funniest attempts in college football ever. But I'm telling you, it will not be the last. It's not going to work, and it won't be the last time. It's almost as funny as the reported negotiation. Here's the other part. Over a buyout settlement. Reportedly, BK, they tried to negotiate the settlement, what they owed him. Like, why? Why would he do that? Reportedly, BK turned down a $25 million offer and then a $30 million offer. You know why he turned those numbers down? Because it seems to me 25 and 30 mil are a lot less than 54 mil. That's probably why he turned them down. Why the hell would he give them a half-price discount? So that's why now they're suddenly firing him for cause, because they tried to reason with him. They tried to negotiate with him. Oh, okay. Oh, that's the way you want to play it, BK? Fine. You're fired and you get nothing. I mean, can you imagine one of them saying to him probably, hey man, 30 mil is a lot more than zero. 30 mil is 30 mil more than zero. To which he probably said, right. And it's 24 mil less than 54. Like, how did that go? Well, you're negotiating. You're suddenly firing him for cause? Or was that blackmail? Like, yo, family, we got the dirt on you. If you want to make sure that no one else knows about it, we suggest you take the 25 mil. BK was probably like, man, you don't have bleep on me. Go bleep yourself. All right, 30 mil. That's our last offer. 30 mil, or we're going to let everybody know what you were really doing down here besides coming up with that cornball accent. Yeah, good job, good effort. Final offer, BK. Yeah, good job, good effort. The hell did they expect to happen? The hell kind of offers are those anyway? I mean, you could try, I guess. You can try, I guess. But you can't come back and say, nah, you weren't actually fired, but you are now for cause, meaning you get nothing. I mean, the answer, of course, is LSU is doing whatever the hell they can to get out of this buyout, and they look really, really lame. Really lame. Pretty sure this is why BK was doing his best Coach O impression when he was like, what time you want me to leave and what door you want me out of here, brother?
I said, what time you want me to leave and what door you want me out of, brother? Brother.
No hard feelings. No hard feelings about any of it. No hard feelings about you trying to fire me and telling me I'm not fired and then refiring me as long as I get my 54. No hard feelings. What time you want me out of here? What door you want me out of here, brother? One thing's really clear. The family will never be the same. LSU, man, the optics on this are so bad. It's hilarious, don't get me wrong. But, man, what a clown show. I don't think the family is ever getting back together. Now, you know what might get back together? The Jug Band. The Jug Band might get back together. Hell, they might tour all of North America, giving all the cash and all the time, because he is going to get that cash. He is. Giving all the cash and all the time that BK's got right now. Now, the LSU family will never be the same. Like those NFL non-guaranteed contracts, think this is hilarious. What is the point in signing a contract if you can fire somebody and then not honor the contract? Why do we even have contracts? Like, it's a contract until we say it's not? Is that how that works now? Yeah, now sign on the line that is dotted. I'm not saying that BK is the most likable guy. In fact, you'd be hard-pressed to find anybody who likes him at this point. But is there anybody anywhere who doesn't agree with him on this point? Me, I'm just going to sit back and let the music play.
It's a great night to be a Tiger. I'm here with my family.
We can't play any worse than that, I don't think.
In the great state of Louisiana, but more importantly,
Let the music play.
to be with you great fans.
Give me my money.
Part of what
You
is
can't
gonna be
fire and
a
refire me.
incredible
Give me my
ride
money.
here at Louisiana State University.
Way to go, LSU. He wasn't fired, but he is now. With cause. With cause. You don't get a penny. Good job, good effort. Nice try, LSU.